Okay, so last week I released a vlog, but it wasn't really a vlog. It was more like an arty short film where I roamed around an empty cruise ship at night. Despite the low view count, I thought it might be more interesting to talk about how I made the video. So how did I film on the world's largest cruise ship and make it feel like I was alone? Well, the ship was in fact full. There was probably over 9,000 people on board. The main lobby or deck of the ship looks like this on opening night, yet when I filmed it, it looked like this. For context, I was on the cruise with my family to celebrate my dad's 80th birthday. And knowing that we were going on the world's largest cruise ship, I was trying to think if there was anything cool that I could shoot for my vlogs.
Currently in Costa Maya, we've got the icon of the seas behind me.
And I thought it would be interesting to film the ship at night.
Back on the ship.
But it's hard to motivate yourself to film anything sometimes, especially if you're on vacation and you're doing it by yourself. Nevertheless, on the last night of the cruise, I convinced or forced myself to wake up at 3:30 in the morning and just film. I wish I had a game plan or a script in place, but really I just thought that the visuals of me roaming around an empty ship at night would be trippy and hopefully cool. Because I didn't fully map out the shoot, I filmed myself walking towards the camera and away from the camera, left through the frame and right through the frame, hoping that in the edit I would create the right flow and direction that I should travel. I went to the visually interesting areas of the ship, and I knew I wanted to highlight the Pearl, which is a giant kinetic art piece and a stairway in the lobby of the ship. And of course there were some cool parts of the ship that I filmed that I didn't end up using in the final edit, and some cool areas of the ship like the skating rink and the theater, which I didn't have access to because they were closed at night. One shot or sequence that I was happy with was when I was looking at the ship's information board and made it seem like I was touching it through the back side of it. For that, I knew it would require 3 to 4 shots. So I filmed myself walking towards the camera as if I was approaching the board. Then I zoomed in and filmed a close-up of the same shot, but at the end I reached out and tapped the air in between the lens and myself, knowing that there would be an insert shot of the board in between those 2 shots. So I shot a wide shot of the board, then close-up of me reaching up and touching the actual board. In the edit, I flipped the shot of the board and then changed the blend mode to darken and brought down the opacity and scaled and positioned it so it lined up with my finger. In some areas of the ship, there were some people in the shots, usually a worker. So I just made sure that I filmed some of the shots a little longer so that they cleared the area they were in so I could mask them out. Now, when it came to the edit, I wasn't exactly sure what I was going to do with the footage or story. So I did have an idea to go in the trippy dreamlike route when I did start filming, but after seeing myself go back and forth in the same shot, I was like, ooh, I could duplicate myself and make myself go in different directions. So by not knowing exactly what I was going to do going in, I overfilmed. But by doing so, it helped me actually find the story in the edit. As is often the case, it took me a long time to find the right track. I knew I wanted to find a song that had a beat to give me something to cut to, that would also let me compress the footage duration down, that was also trippy and dreamlike. So I was searching for something that was 80s, Tron-like, or Blade Runner-esque. I'm happy with the track I found. It's called And Behold, and I decided to just stick with one single track for the whole duration of the video, where normally I'm using 3, 4, 5 different songs. It gave me a durational framework, which can be limiting in a good way. Now for the look, I shot on my Sony FX30, which is what I'm filming with right now. I have an FX3 in my drawer back there, but it's a little bulkier, has a better lens, bigger, heavier, all that. So for my vlog stuff, I kind of just use this little camera that I treat as like a running gun setup. So I shot log, so to go from that to the Rec 709, I just used the Alexa LUT because it's easier in the drop-down menu than searching for the Sony one. But to give it a look, I went through the creative tab in Premiere and just scrolled through the different looks until I landed on something that I was interested in, which was SL Blue Cold. Normally I'd bring the intensity of the LUT down, but in this case I left it at 100%. This LUT gave the image that surreal futuristic look that I was going for and just made the ship look like it was lit like a film set.
On a long enough timeline, the survival rate of everyone drops to 0.
When editing, I was considering adding a VO. I just wasn't sure what I was going to say.
With insomnia, nothing's real.
I'm not really that happy with the end script. I feel like it kind of makes it a little cheesy, which is always the fear when making anything creative. But I am a fan of the film Fight Club, and in that film, Ed Norton plays the lead character who kind of narrates his character's thoughts.
With insomnia, nothing's real. Everything's far away.
And he plays an insomniac who doesn't know when he's asleep or awake. So I combine that with some custom lines, as well as quotes from Shakespeare and Spike Jonze.
And this space will be occupied by someone else.
Again, I don't love the VO, but I liked the original idea of adding it. So before I posted it to YouTube, I showed a cut to my friend Shane Cunningham, and I was like, is it cool? Is it weird? Is it crap? Is the VO working? And his main note back was essentially, it's too long. He got bored. So I took an hour and cut a minute out, and I think it greatly improved. For the final pass, I just masked out some people to hide them, and where that was more difficult, I used After Effects Content Aware Fill. Although I'm not sure how I feel about the final product, I still think it's cool, and I'm happy I made it. Now it's on to the next.